Well, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are. This is Pete, the roaming prepper. Thank you all for joining me today. Once again, I am pre-recording my Saturday SitRep. I was invited to be part of a charity clay shoot this Saturday. We're going to try and raise some money for some scholarships for engineering and science kind of majors. And I'm going to get to shoot with some of my clients, some of my coworkers, all of whom are my friends. And, we'll get to do a good thing tomorrow or today if you'll be watching it today. So, again, I had to record it early. Also, as you can tell, it's allergy season here and it's kicking my butt. And so I sound like a frog. So this won't be one of my longest Saturday sit reps in theory, but there is some stuff I do want to cover, and we actually have some good news. Usually I come on here and I'm like, yeah, everyone's not playing nicely. We do have some positive stuff, so I'm going to try and stay with that. We're going to try to help each other out. Just note, I was invited to be part of Papa Prepper and Northern Girls, not Rumble, Discords. So I am out floating around out there whenever I get a break from the contracts and work and whatnot. I am on the video server that is not YouTube, that starts with an R. I don't know if that's a bad word because sometimes you say something and you get a ding. I am on Instagram as well, so feel free to follow me there. I try to post as much as I can just to keep people in the loop. But we're going to start with some good news today, and Cali fires. So I'm going to share this screen because it's kind of nice to see good stuff happen, which is refreshing. So, let me expand that so you guys can see that better. Right now, it looks like the majority of the fires have been put under control. Now, there's still some burning out there. Looks like the firefighters got their game on. The river fire is a pretty good size one, 2,600 acres. It is 30% contained. They were able to keep the house fire down to 40 acres. It's 45% contained. Hiding fire, the Tobin, and the Hungry are all right now at 100% containment. That doesn't mean they're completely out, but that it's not going anywhere. They kind of got it in an area that they've got it cornered, if you will. So this is some good stuff. It's always a positive thing to see our fire teams actually have some success. Also, so that's good news. Some stuff to pay attention to is on the weather front, and weather's been absolutely bizarre this year, as everyone's been talking about. There are two tropical systems in the Atlantic. We've had some already. Right now, it's they're issuing an advisory for Tropical Storm Jimena, and this guy hasn't formed yet. These two are forming up now. Now, these are taking kind of a low track, and usually the hurricanes will form here, because when I lived in Houston, I was there, like Houston, and then I lived near New Orleans before that, so it was like one big bullseye. These guys tend to form here. Very often the jet stream catches them somewhere in here and launches them north. Where we tend to get hurt in Texas and Louisiana is where this stuff kind of gets hung up in a low and then gets sucked up this way. Right now, they really don't know where these two bad boys are going. Oh, well, that was cool. That was not what I wanted to do. That's what happens when you get excited and click on shit you shouldn't. So they got some wind speed predictions, but really they don't know where the hell these things are going. They're way out there. But that's good. But you see them. The one good thing about hurricanes, you see them coming. This is not a surprise. It's not like, holy cow, we haven't seen a hurricane in 5 years, and then poof, there's a hurricane. Unlike a tornado, which is small, comes out of nowhere and hauls ass, these tend to be big, obvious, slow-moving. They do a lot more damage over a larger area. But you guys, It's out there. Tax-free weekend in Texas. I don't know if Louisiana's done theirs yet. Get some extra goodies. And if you're into preparedness, at a minimum, you should have a hurricane box. If you're a beginner and you don't know how to do a hurricane box, get one of those stupid Tupperwares you put your Christmas ornaments in, the big bin that's like that big, and put 2 toilet papers, canned food, a first aid kit, 2 flashlights, ponchos, a little people condoms, the stupid things you buy for $2, glow sticks, snacks, and whatever else you think you may need for 72 hours, and that's your hurricane kit. No, it's not much, right? It sounds a little simple. It can be simple. It's more a systemic thing. Prepping is not, holy cow, the apocalypse has happened, I'm going to buy all the toilet paper. That's hoarding. That's people freaking out. Don't do that. That just pisses everyone off, and you look stupid. Start now. You go to the grocery store, you buy potty paper, take 2 rolls, stick them in the bin. If you don't have a bin, find a shelf on the closet. Just make sure you don't mess with it. That's like the sacred closet, right? That's where you put stuff for when you need it. Do it with the kids if you got kids. Kids love this stuff. My kids during Hurricane Night, they had a blast with glow sticks and lights and Nerf guns. It was actually a good thing in a lot of ways. Anyway, got a couple of systems out there. They may or may not develop, but time will tell. So don't freak out. Just get ready. If you go to ready.gov and go to the hurricane section or FEMA, they have some really good starter checklists. And to be honest and completely transparent, every now and then, every year or so, I'll print one out and then I'll look at my own preps and see, did I miss anything? Because you forget, you get involved in canning and all sorts of stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, I have no matches. Or like one of my friends bought the food and forgot the manual can opener. He got the cans open, but he was pissed. Never did that again. Anyway, speaking of weather, oh, my sinuses, guys, sorry. I sound like a toad. I almost sound like Yoda. The weather is not your friend, it is. All right, here we go. Sorry, couldn't resist. The Farmer's Almanac. Right, I never really, oh, there we go. So apparently the Farmer's Almanac predicted a very harsh winter in 2021, and it's predicting another one in 2022. I have found that the Farmer's Almanac, although not perfect, is pretty damn consistent. It's pretty accurate. So, and they've been doing this since 1818, right? And it's just statistics and information, and they send it out, but they see patterns over, 1818, 1918, 2018, what, 200 years? That's a pretty damn good database. So pick one up. You can also get it online. I like a book because if the power goes out, what the hell good is the Almanac online? Anyway, we could be looking at another harsh winter. So if that's the case, those of you in Texas or in the middle of the country that froze their ass, get those propane heaters now. It's the middle of the summer. 85% of the population is not thinking about firewood and propane heaters. I couldn't find one because they didn't get any in stock, but I'm going to keep looking. Eventually, I will find one. Also, cooking. I have a propane stove with the little green tanks. I have a butane with the little silver tanks. I got 2 ways to cook without my electricity. I also have a propane tank outside, and I have a fire pit if I need to cook hot dogs. So have a few different ways to cook. That's important. But Texas, you may have another hit this year, this coming year. So get ready now. Don't find out the hard way in the middle of the freeze. So, so speaking of finding things out the hard way. So we're going to talk about the Cootie, right? Because, and this is from Newsweek. This is not me making false-mation bullshit. Oh, that's funky. Let's not do that. There we go. So tracking will stop reporting mild and asymptomatic cootie cases amongst unpinched people. I don't know if I said that, my code words right. So they will stop reporting asymptomatic or very mild cootie if you have not received a pinch, or if you did receive a pinch. This is the CDC announcement. It announced on May 1st, so that's been a while, it would transition from monitoring all reported vaccine breakthrough cases to focus only on hospitalized or fatal. And it's starting to go into effect now. They will be releasing data on people who've been pinched and still got the cootie, and people who are not pinched and still got the cootie, or unpinched and got the cootie, and how they broke down. What was the fatality, the hospitalization, so that I guess their approach is where they're trying to be more transparent, because they're just throwing big numbers up there and everyone's confused. And now people are pissed because they don't know what the hell's going on. They're making people have your pinch papers in New York City, which, if you haven't heard the Angry Prepper's opinion on that, go watch it, and don't watch it with the kids in the room, because he has bad words for that. And I agree with him. It's stupid. They need to figure out what the hell they're doing. So in any case, they were advising, if you're indoors, start wearing your monster mask again. And but they're saying they're just going to stop. The CDC's decision to stop tracking mild and asymptomatic cases has influenced states to follow suit. Oh, surprise. Ohio, Texas, South Carolina, I think Oklahoma and Louisiana are in there. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's it, guys. They're going to change the way they record the cootie so that they can focus more on hospitalization rates and then try to understand what they're doing. This is probably what they should have done from the beginning. They didn't do it, but hopefully they'll do it now and stop confusing the shit out of everybody. Excuse my French, but it's annoying. Speaking of that, I'm going to share, this is from Newsweek. 7 people who received the pinch have died from the Colombian cootie. So I'm going to expand this because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say or not say. So they reported that, and this was actually in Brussels. This was in Belgium. Oh, that's interesting. So they have the Colombian cootie in Belgium. Anyway, total of 20 fully pinched individuals. And by the way, the word pinch came from Just Josh. If you haven't checked out his channels, please watch it, because it's funny as shit and he speaks truth. And it's funny. That's the important thing. It's funny and truthful. The NWS, they said, now a lot of them were already in poor health, but others here were in relatively good health before they got the cootie. So that Colombian version of the cootie has yet to be given a Greek letter. So again, it's following the typical pattern for this type of cootie. The cooties that drink Corona beer. I wish I didn't have to do that. Where was I just distracted myself. The cootie is following the pattern of normal cooties, in that over time it becomes more contagious and less fatal. Right, when it first hits the population, it hits the weakest, easiest targets where it can infect, and typically kills a lot of them. But then as it evolves and spreads, the illness, the cootie, does not want to kill the host, ideally, because it dies with the host. So it wants to get to where it can propagate itself without completely killing all its hosts. And that's what we're seeing now. And this family of cooties also includes the common cold and some other stuff that all of us get every year. So over time, eventually, this is going to become kind of like a booster shot thing that, oh, it's fall. Remember your cootie and influenza. And if you so desire, or you feel you're at risk, or you travel a lot, you'll go get the pinch or the combo pinch, whatever the hell they come up with later. It's doing what nature has done before. Most of these types of outbreaks, 2 years, and it now has become a new thing. Keep in mind the 1918 influenza is now known, if I recall correctly, as flu B. And once a year, people who are at risk, or you may be around someone who's sick, you go get the flu pinch. So hopefully that's what we're seeing. It seems to be, and this is good. It's good that they're trying to be transparent. It's good that they're not tracking stupid shit. And it's good that they're understanding how this thing's moving around so that people can make intelligent decisions. What I'm not liking is that certain entities are forcing things and to the detriment of people's liberties. That's a problem. Now it's not about stopping the cootie. Now it's about making people obey. And that's going to cause issues. But I'll get off my soapbox. I'll stop there because I'm a little bit riled up about that. So where was I? Oh, nope, we're going to skip that topic because I'm saving that for later. The next one, travel plans or travel pains. Let me share that one. So Spirit Airlines says cancellations are to continue into the next week. This was from today, actually. They cannot keep up. They cannot keep up personnel. The flight attendants, a lot of them, and they get paid better than they would on unemployment, but a lot of them, the money they were being paid to stay home exceeded the benefit of them going to work. Even though they made more money at work, they got paid enough to stay home where they didn't have to. But on top of that, some of them just outright quit because the people on the planes are bonkers. Some want to wear masks, they don't want to wear masks, and then they take it out on the poor attendant who's just obeying the rules. It's not the flight attendant's fault. And people are hitting the poor flight attendants. That's not too. Don't freaking hit flight attendants. That sucks. Okay, they're just doing a gig. And I mean, unfortunately, the airlines are regulated by the FAA, which is regulated by the administration. So they're obeying the law that applies to them. So don't make their life suck. You know, if you got to wear the Cootie face paint, wear the Cootie face paint and give them a break and then get where you're going and throw that damn thing in the trash. But anyway, I like doing is I like poking a hole in it. I did that on one flight. I poked a hole in it and drank through that and freaked the guy out next to me. Or I get really drunk and put the mask on crooked, which is typically what I do on long flights and to put me to sleep. In which case they just give up because they're like, this guy's an idiot. Just ignore him and he'll go away. The carrier Spirit Airlines has canceled more than 1,700 flights. How crazy is that stuff? Sorry about that. I did the wrong thing there. I don't know. Something malfunctions. Hold on. My webcam's there. My audio's there. Okay. I don't know what happened. That was probably a short with the engineer and the keyboard. Basically, 1,700 flights. They had people sleeping in airports. There is a pair of Congress people, one Democrat, one Republican, who said that if this happens because of their inability to plan their own flights, that they're not going to allow the passengers the option of getting a refund and not a voucher, because the voucher lets the airline keep the money and then put you on whatever the hell flight they want. Giving you a refund is more painful because you might take it somewhere else and they lose the money. They're working on that. But excuse me, guys, I'm losing my voice bad now. but they're trying to get to that point. Again, they just can't keep people. They're struggling very badly with keeping personnel. Sorry about that. Spirit Airlines cancels 50% of its flight schedule. American canceled a bunch also. More than 370 flights, or 12% of the mainline schedule, was canceled on Tuesday. This was this was earlier this week. So Americans having issues too. They can't get the workers. They can't keep the workers. People are getting upset. The flight attendants are quitting, or they just have gone somewhere else. Not bueno. So yeah, that's let me show you this up close. But as you can see, more than 60% of its schedule of 429 flights were canceled. So that's tough. That's tough stuff. It's tough for these folks. Again, so I'm going to move to the international scene, and my voice is about to give out, so I'm going to have to do this quick. Let me share this. Iran faces condemnation over the attack on Israeli-owned ship. So they're pretty confident Iran did this. And what they did, they used drones. I thought it was a missile attack. They used drones. Now, Iran has not claimed responsibility, but the G7 nations and the EU condemned the attack. The EU and G7 further condemned Iran's support for use of proxy forces to conduct these attacks. Now, these guys used RDX in a drone. In any case, yeah, there's pretty nasty stuff they did. They used the drones to basically they crashed it into the freighter and damaged it. So that's not good. On the flip side, though, we do have good news from China and India. They've both agreed to pull back troops from the place where they've been having brawls and fistfights and whatnot. And they are trying to find a better way to work together to alleviate that border issue. So this week, guys, we had a little bit of good news mixed in with the bad news. So in any case, you know, that's going to be my kind of shortened out, Saturday SitRep. Hopefully the weather holds. It's been nice and cool. That would be nice for shooting clays. Until next time, Godspeed if you're on the road or traveling. To everyone, be safe, pay attention, get ready for whatever may come your way. And if you can educate and help someone else out to be better, do that. Until next time, take care.